Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the teasers. Now, what do we have here today? I've already said, with all these teasers, I have this theory that we've barely scraped the surface. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg of all the quality of life and great changes so far. And yeah, today's teaser says that in Path of Exile Necropolis, you can automate many instant skills and war cries with 2 new skill gems: automation and call to arms. So before we dive into this, I want to get everyone up to speed, specifically people who are not super used to Path of Exile. So in Path of Exile, most abilities do have a time that it takes to use them. For attacks, this is the attack time. For spells, this is the cast time. But there's some abilities that don't have a cast time that are instant. For example, this Steel Skin or this Blood Rage, where it says instant on the cast time. Now, currently in Path of Exile, you can put these instant abilities onto your left click and then move your character around, and whenever the instant ability comes off cooldown, it is automatically used as you hold down the button all the time. Now in Path of Exile 3.24 Necropolis, this will no longer be possible, but instead we will have these 2 support gems, which seem like a kind of sneak preview for the quality of life that the meta gems are in Path of Exile 2, and automate the gems that way.
We're adding 2 new skill gems in 3.24, Automation and Call to Arms. These skill gems can be toggled on to auto-cast linked instant skills the moment they're off cooldown. We've removed the capacity to bind any instant skill to left click as a result.
Now, this of course means that everyone will have access to this quality of life of being able to auto-cast one ability, and the left mouse button is no longer singled out in that sense as the button that doubles as movement and instant ability. But on the other hand, this will now take an additional socket in a meta where we're already sort of starved for space to put our gems. And now, of course, the obvious upside is that you can link multiple abilities to these support gems instead of just one on your left mouse button, and have multiple abilities insta-cast whenever they come off cooldown. And like said in the video, these of course will also automatically cast when you're standing still. That is, when you're not holding down your left mouse button, which normally you would have had to do for it to automatically cast all the time. Now there's one peculiar thing about the Warcry version of this, the Call to Arms, where it says that the call to arms itself is instant, but nowhere on this gem does it say that the war cries will be instant as well, which means the war cries will still have their respective cast time, and you might be able to put multiple war cries on this call to arms. What I'm thinking is you can put 2 war cries on call to arms and link them with Second Wind, because Second Wind support says it grants supported non-instant skills plus 1 cooldown use. Now, because your war cries are not made instant by call to arms support, that means despite all your war cries sharing a cooldown, both your war cries can go off at the same time because both of them have 2 uses stored. So when one of them loses a cooldown and the other one loses a cooldown because they share it, there's still 1 cooldown left that can be expended to use the other one. Now, of course, we're gonna have to see whether there's any other change in the patch notes that makes this impossible. And ultimately, we have to try when 3.24 comes out. But I think there's a solid chance that I'm actually right with this. What's obviously great is that this change coming to all platforms will finally allow console players some automation as well, because they previously weren't able to benefit from the left mouse button thing.
Players who use a gamepad will appreciate this one.
And also, obviously, with the upcoming WASD movement, there's probably no way to benefit from that, so great GGG preparing already for that. I personally think that this is a great change, and it makes me look forward to 3.24 Necropolis even more. The only thing I'm skeptical about is adding more pressure onto our already very, very sparse sockets. Sparse or spares?
Sparse.
But I guess a drop of discomfort may be the price of quality of life in this case.
A drop of discomfort may be the price of doing business.
Again, crazy stuff happening here. Tell me what you think about all this in the comments down below. Let me know whether I missed any implication or stuff like that, whether there's a super secret interaction that you're looking forward to trying out. And as always, I'll see you in the next teaser. Have a great one. Bye bye.